If you have not told a friend, please let them know right now that I am on the air. We serious business tonight, y'all. We serious business tonight. I need you all to let a friend know because you know they block us. Let them know that the voice of truth is back on the air again. Facts over feelings tonight. Very strange that I'm coming to you tonight. I'm not going to jump right in right away because I'm waiting on 200-300 more people to make it over here so they don't have to see me start over again. Y'all know I got something important to drop on you. I have a special announcement and a very important piece of information. I don't know how y'all gonna take it. I know how I took it. And then we're gonna take a field trip. As a class, we're gonna take a field trip to 2 places. And what I'm going to do is, as I always do, lay the final decision at your feet. If you're joining me from anywhere outside of the United States, I bid you welcome to all of the good black folks scattered from the East Coast to the West Coast, from up top all the way down deep in the South and out in the middle of the country, out in U.S. territories or out in the Pacific on the island of Hawaii, or way, way, way up top in Alaska. We bid you welcome. This is a show that is geared toward those of us who are African descendants of slavery and immigrants of the melanin persuasion, and all those people who call us friends. Some of you who are enemies, welcome too. I'd like to go ahead and send a big shout out to the FBI, the NSA, the CIA, and every other 3-letter agency that is dipping in on our broadcast. And don't forget, before this is over, brought to you with heavy interruptions from Instagram. If you find out that you cannot text or post your comment, or if you find out you keep getting kicked out, trust and believe it ain't us. It's them, because they don't want you to hear what I'm about to say to you. Didn't nobody come to hear me. I'm just a conduit to give y'all some information. And tonight we got some stuff to take care of up here in the house. So if you have gotten comfortable, I would like for y'all to come on in. If you're sitting with your boo or your other half, or if you just had a side piece reunion because you've been quarantined and you still decided to tune in to Facts Over Feelings, that's all right. We're going to try to help y'all out together. But if you are one of the young people who's tuned in because you said that you thought, or they had convinced you that the black man had gone away, that the black man had gone crazy, that the black man was just good for going to jail, I am here to shatter any and all stereotypes that I am intellectual, I am introspectional, and I'm also outer spatial. That means that I exist in 3 dimensions all at the same time. It is written in the book that the black man is the personification of God walking the earth, and the woman is the gateway of that life that creates the God of the earth. So you are witnessing the unpolluted and no additives, no false impressionable. We have no false ingredients, new and improved. The black man for 2020 who is just not having the bullshit. If you are easily offended, you can log off right now. If you have a problem with hearing some words that I did not create but may be appropriate for the moment, bounce your ass up out of here right now too. If you came to hate, we don't do that here at Facts Over Feelings. We check our feelings at the door. And tonight, it's going to be a rough one because we got 2 things to cover. Y'all already know what we should be talking about. So you know I'm about to unpack it. You know you're going to be standing up before it's all over. And you know we're going to get to the truth. Because if it's one thing we were done, we was born dark, but we wasn't born at night, especially late at night, like last night, like we stupid. There's 2 and 2 we can put together and figure out what happened. So that being said, if everyone has let a friend know that they didn't get the notification, I am here. Let them know I'm on the air so they're not coming in late. Some people are on their jobs. Some people is outside doing something they got no business. Go out there and interrupt them and say, hey, what you doing? Brother man is talking. Let's get to it. I also want to acknowledge all of those people who still refuse to join us in this push for unity. This is not about being popular. This is not about who's right or who's wrong. This is our opportunity in time to become one united people in spite of our differences. Okay. Let me tell you something. I remember the time I caught two roaches fighting over a piece of candy. You know how you come downstairs late at night and you turn the light on and all the other roaches run? These two roaches were so mad at each other about the candy that when the lights came on, they stopped for 2 seconds, looked at me and said, damn the lights, damn him. I found it first and they was going at it. I couldn't believe this shit. I'm standing there trying to pick which one was going to win. One got a body slam in, the other one slid in an antenna. It was crazy. But they were so mad at each other that they didn't even see the threat to both of them. And y'all stay so mad at each other that y'all don't see the threat to both of y'all. So tonight, I like to entitle the discussion, why am I still seeing strange fruit? Why am I seeing strange fruit? Strange fruit. Now, you youngins don't know what that means, but us OGs know what strange fruit is. Why am I still seeing strange fruit in 2020? Why in the 21st century is strange fruit still on the menu? Why is strange fruit still on the trees? We were the strange fruit. I shouldn't see strange fruit on the trees. You see, my brothers and sisters, I should always start from the perspective of what does Yahuwah have to say about it. But I know y'all don't speak Hebrew, so I'll say Yahweh. Well, if you think about it, all of the things that are happening to us right now are happening because we are doing things that we were never meant to do. We're doing things we should have never learned how to do. We're doing things. Yeah, we're doing some things. Some of those things that we're doing were taught to us. That's how we know them. You know, I could sit here and start going over all of the, and I could call the road and accuse all of the fallen angels of the things that they did. When they came to earth, not only did they lay with the women, and we already know that story, but they also, while they was laid up with these women, they taught them things. And those things are now practiced all throughout our culture. And most of y'all don't even know that you're doing things that were taught to you that you were never supposed to learn. I can call the name of the first one. That's Yaquan. He's the one who misled all the children of the angels, brought them down upon the earth and perverted them by the daughters of the people. That means he was the pimp of the crew. He came down, saw the daughters of the women, and he put them out there too so that everybody could get some. I'm just keeping it 100 with you, breaking it down in a language you can understand. The second was named Asbel. He's the one who gave the children of Kodesh angels an evil counsel and misled them so that they would defile their bodies by the daughters of the people. In other words, my man was pimping them. He was providing the customers. Y'all see what we running right here? We running an operation. Do we have a Rahab in the house? And then the third was Gadarel. This is the one who showed the children of the people all the blows of death. He's the one that taught us how to kill each other. Okay. He also, this is going to mess up your whole theology of what they taught you in the slave master church. But he's also the one who misled Eve. Skirt, let me put my kickstand down right there and teach you something that they don't teach you on Sunday morning. You see, when they say he misled, you have to understand the root meaning of the word misled, meaning that you took someone somewhere. You took, the root word being took. Well, took back in the ancient Hebrew did not mean take like I took your pencil. Take means I had sexual intercourse with you. If I said I knew you back then, that meant and he knew his wife. That meant I knew her. I walked in, we got personal, we got intimate, and a baby came out of the situation. A lot of times in the slave master church, they teach all that bullshit story. Oh, they were in the garden and a snake came along. And right when you heard that shit, it made no sense. How in the fuck did a snake talk this chick who didn't have no clothes on, walking around with a dude back here? What did the snake say? Did she never look at this motherfucker and realize that he ain't got no arms, no legs, he ain't got no clothes on? He's down there. Yo, how weak did she have to be, or how stupid did you have to be to fall for that story? When the truth of the matter is, the reason that Cain killed Abel was because they were not of the same blood. That wasn't his brother. That was his half brother. You see, sisters, your sin wasn't just eating the apple and getting y'all kicked out the garden. The first person to get a side piece and get an extra piece of dick was Eve. And who did she get it from? She got it from Gadarel. And they tell you that in the old scriptures, he misled Eve. So when she went back to Adam, he don't know where the baby came from. And he think he got two boys. No, they from two totally different bloodlines. You see, when the fallen angels came down to earth, they didn't just mess with the women. You know somebody had to go hit on the number one piece. I'm trying to tell y'all the truth, what they don't want y'all to understand about why we are who we are and why they are what they are. We're two different bloodlines. We're two different creatures. He also showed the children of the people how to make the instruments of death, such as the shield, the breastplate, and the sword of warfare, and all the other instruments of death to the children of the people. He taught this bro really is the one y'all should be looking for. You know, a lot of people want to put it on Isaiah because he led them, but that's really not what happened. I'm in the book for a second because I can't talk about what I got to talk about until I show you how it is related back to the creator. Now I know we got a lot of learned brothers on here that say, man, I don't agree. You teach the word the way you want. You let me teach my people the way I want. We want to get it, bro. We don't want the mysteries no more. We don't want to have to sit down and give all our money, all our time, all our tithes, all our first offerings, all our love offerings, and all the money we got so we can still be a damn mystery and we still just as jacked up in our lives as we was when we came in the door. I'm giving it to them straight with no chaser, and I don't need a dime for the truth because the truth is the truth is the truth. Are y'all listening? This is not what they wanted you to know. And through their agency, death proceeds against the people who dwell upon the earth from this day forevermore. The fourth one was named Penium. This one demonstrated to the children of the people the bitter and the sweet, and revealed to them all the secrets of their wisdom, things they was never supposed to know. Furthermore, he caused the people to penetrate the secret of writing and the use of ink and paper. On account of this matter, there are many who have erred from eternity to eternity. Now, what he's saying is you're not supposed to be writing anything down. That's what he's saying. That was not supposed to happen. It says for human beings are not created for purposes to take up their beliefs with pen and ink. If y'all don't know what I'm quoting 69, 4 through 10 out of the first book of Enoch with Yahweh's name restored. And I'm going to say this one last time. If you did not see the 8-part series where I did an exegetical study of the first book of Yahweh of Enoch, and I let you know if it doesn't have Yahweh's name in it, it is a fraud. It is a fake. It is a revision. This is not a book that you go out and find in Barnes and Noble everywhere. They destroyed it. It was gone for 800 years. Now you want to believe whatever the hell you find in the store or in Amazon. Don't you think the same way that they rewrote the scriptures that they wouldn't have found them when they knew this book was coming back, that they wouldn't have put out? Don't come to me with this. There is only one version. And any child of the king would defend about that. Anybody who doesn't, anybody who debates, anybody who gives an interpretation, I have to question, who's your father? I'm telling you all these things that they did because you're doing a lot of those things. You have no idea some of the things that you do were taught to you and they were never meant for you to do this. So before you can stop them, you got to know that you're doing them. I could keep going, but I'm not. I wanted to stop right there because on my way here tonight, y'all, I happened to glance at the white people's media. That's what I call it the white people's media, because I was curious about what the headline said. Well, I think the biggest headline that jumped out as soon as I opened the paper was, well, LGBTQ, whatever the rest of the letters are, you found out today that your ass is not safe either. The Trump administration has cut transgender health care protection. Okay. Yeah, they coming after y'all too. It ain't just us. So don't sit back thinking it's cute because you hijacked the BLM movement and you can keep equating the gay struggle with the black struggle. So you think that you protected, like when they start handing our ass to us, they was going to hand y'all ass to y'all separately because they don't see y'all as separate, because Obama didn't give no protections to black folks, but he gave protections to LGBTQ specifically. So he's now taking away from y'all what Obama gave to y'all. So y'all better come on out too and join us in the middle of all of this. Some people said it was heartless. Well, it wasn't heartless. It's that when they say they don't give a fuck about you, they don't give a fuck about nobody but themselves. And if y'all haven't figured out who they is, I'll say it here on my broadcast. Old white men who know that their time is up. They're trying to restructure this world so they little weak ass kids can survive. And the kids been taught some fucked up shit. They just waiting to clown out. That's why they coming all peeking all through the woodwork doing dumb shit, because they've been programmed for a time that doesn't exist yet. So they parents trying to hurry up and get shit in that position so their kids can do what the fuck they taught them to do. I also saw a headline that said that there were some questions that was being raised about a young man who died again in police custody. I said, okay, well, that was interesting. And then I saw a lot of other headlines that really didn't even make any sense to me. There was a woman captured on video who was harassing a Filipino while she was exercising in the park. Shit, they even had Tucker Carlson. He had a boycott that was causing headaches at Fox. But nowhere in here did I see anything about this situation out in California. I was just shocked that I didn't see that as a breaking headline. And the reason I say that to y'all is because I had a flashback and I had a real bad feeling in the pit of my stomach because I thought I was having a moment of deja vu. And what really blew my mind about it was the headline said there's an investigation that's ongoing after a young black man was found hanging from a tree in Palmdale, California. Well, I couldn't believe what I was reading because I remember a year ago, there was another headline that says coroner releases factual information on the Tamon Blair case, which was a possible hanging. This was March 28th of 2019. This was almost a year ago, or about a year ago. And I investigated that case. Anyone who's been following me for a long time, remember, I dug into that case because I said there's no way that a black man hung himself in the part of the rig of the tractor trailer where you sleep. How the fuck did he hang himself? What, he got up on the bed and jumped off on it and his knee? No, somebody got, and y'all remember I went to Fort Wayne, Indiana. I looked at the place where the truck was supposed to be parked, where they said he had parked for the night. And across the street, there was a truck stop, a big truck stop with all kind of rednecks that was looking like, boy, what you doing out here? I knew where I was at. This young man did not. And yet you want me to believe that he, on his first assignment, drove to redneck ass Fort Wayne and then climbed in the back of his own truck and hung himself when he was so proud of his job. And he came from North Carolina. That boy had no idea where he was at. But I did. And I kept saying, well, wait a minute. If the truck is over here and the truck stop is over there, where's the camera footage? And there was 18 hours of footage that was missing. I ain't stupid. I travel all the time. When I pull up in them little redneck truck stops and I walk in there and everybody that look like they stepped straight out of the goddamn Deliverance movie, I get what the fuck I'm gonna get and I get the fuck on, but I make sure I don't look like I'm no soft target. And the last thing I'm doing is trying to talk to some pinky toe that's out there trying to sell that animal pussy that I don't want. I'm just being real with y'all. And I can put together what happened. My man went up there, he's a trucker, whatever. He went over there, that's where they shower, they change, they do all of that. Ain't no telling who pushed up on him. Maybe some female did, you don't know. He could have went back to the truck and that was a setup. But they had to take at least 2 men to kill that boy in there, and they never arrested nobody, and they never said what happened to the 18 hours of the tape. It was the Tamon Blair case. They lynched him. Big shout out to the Blair family. Real nice people. Got to know them real well during that whole incident. But then I see this headline, y'all, and we're going to get into this, of this investigation of this young black man found hanging from a tree in Palmdale. Now, I need to talk to my West Coast folks on the NFAC. I need to let y'all know something. You see, I've lived in LA, I've lived in Glendale, I've lived in San Jose, I've lived in Sunnyvale, I've lived in Fremont. Big shout out to E40 and the sister Sugar T, two of my best partners I hang out with when I'm out there. And I know exactly where this place is. And the crazy part about it is, you know, you got LA right here. Then you got the mountains. And if you go up the interstate and you wiggle through the mountains, it's up here in the desert. Okay, so, you know, it's not in the city. It's on the other side of the mountains. West Coast, holler at your boy. And when I first heard about this, y'all know what I'm about to do. You know what I'm about to do. Don't sit there and act like you don't know what's coming. Y'all better let a friend know, because I'm always right when I put this shit together. I did the same thing for the Ahmaud Arbery case. Okay? So here's what I did to be analytical. I read the story, and immediately something grabbed me. Was the location of where they said it happened, and that they were automatically calling it a suicide. That's a red flag right off the top. How could you determine it was a suicide just by looking at it? Did you run forensics? I mean, did you take how do y'all label these suicides so quick? To me, that's the very first red flag. I don't care what comes out of this. As soon as they find your body and they say, oh, it's a suicide. No. We're not buying that. There's a reason. I'm going to break that down for y'all. Know I'm going to break it down for you. But the first thing I did When I heard about this being in Palmdale, I got the address. Oh, y'all know I got all into this because everybody was sending it to me, but I was already aware of it. And I also called down to Palmdale's police department. I called to the sheriff's department. I called to the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department. I called every goddamn body I could think of so that somebody could give me a copy of the police report. I asked for the medical examiner's report. I asked to speak to somebody who could tell me how y'all came to a conclusion. So I am now speaking again to the folks there in the Palmdale Police Department. Y'all know I said I was going to say it publicly. I need some answers. I need some answers because there's a hornet's nest of motherfuckers down in LA that's just itching to come up there and make your life uncomfortable. And all they're waiting on is the go ahead from me, whether you believe it or not. So how about y'all go ahead and do the same thing that the good folks in Louisville did when they found out we was coming, that the good folks in Brunswick did when they found out we was coming, that the good folks in Minneapolis did when they found out we was coming. Y'all want us to pay y'all a little visit, or y'all gonna go ahead and stop bullshitting and tell us the truth. Here's why. I need everybody tonight. I'm glad y'all could join me. I need y'all into the jury box real quick. I need all 400 of y'all. I'm going to wait while y'all get in the jury box, okay? And when y'all in the jury box, let everybody signify by giving me a thumbs up because I'm about to state the case. You're going to be the jury. I am going to present the case, and then I'm going to give you what the defense says, and I need all of y'all to be the jury. Can I get a thumbs up from the people saying that you are in the jury box tonight? I'm going to sit here and wait to see how many folks is in the jury box. I need at least 12. I got 1. I got 2. Okay, I got 3. Hold on. I got 4, 5. Wait a minute, I got a black 5. Okay, we got diversity. I got 6. Not yet. 7. I got 7 in the jury box. I got 8. Another black hand in the jury box. 3 in the jury box. We almost there. Give me 2 more. No, you can't put 2 in. Give me 2 more. All right, now we're just going to pack the jury. We're going to stack the jury now, and I need as many of y'all to get in the jury box because you are going to either give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down after I present the case. And let's just watch how this one plays out because it's very close to me. And it really shook me up because I just did a case on lynching last year. So before I go into what the biggest piece of evidence is, first I would like to open by letting everybody know that we have to look at the origins of lynching. The reason I have to say that is because one of the things that you need to understand about people, black people, white people, yellow people, purple people, everybody has a different way of killing that's native to their culture. Most people don't know that. But if you go over to Africa, one of the things that I saw that I did not know was a part of our culture is what they call the necklace. The necklace is when you've done something so egregious, and people in Africa that are tuned in, y'all know what I'm about to say is true. But once you've done something to the community that is so egregious that nobody's feeling you anymore, you have to leave the village. You have done something to a child. You did something that you wasn't supposed to. Nobody in the village has any love for you anymore. They will start throwing things at you. If you're smart, you will leave. But most people don't because they can't believe it's happening. And then everybody start throwing bigger stuff. People are hitting you, spitting on you, telling you to leave the town. And if you don't leave, somebody come out of nowhere with a tire. And they put the tire over your head. Y'all seen it? And the tire is right here. And you're trying to wiggle to get out the tire. And you never see who these brothers is. All of a sudden, 3, 4 brothers walk up and throw some fluid on you. And a dude just come out of nowhere. He just walked from the left to the right and light your ass on fire. And when that happens, now it's really rough. You on fire. You done fell down. You can't put the fire out because your arms are stuck in the tire. And they throwing shit on you to make the fire go bigger. They putting wood, coal, lighter fluid. Somebody got briquettes out this bitch. They burn you the fuck up. And nobody stops it. It's the worst shit you ever want to see. But that's our culture. You see what I'm saying? That's something we do. Now, I say that because if you do an etymological study of the origins of lynching in America, here's the crazy part about it. Lynching actually begins in the Revolutionary War years. It's named after the brother of the man who founded Lynchburg, Virginia. And lynching took place. This was an extra legal justice is what they called it. This was something that white people invented during the Revolutionary years. Okay. This came from their culture. This is not some shit we do. If I went out front of my yard and set my ass on fire, that's some African shit. But to hang myself, that's not even a part of our culture. But just for those who would say, well, doesn't mean, it was not until 1886 that the number of black lynch victims began to exceed the number of white lynch victims. They were lynching white folks at first. And it wasn't until almost 1886. We came out of slavery in 1865. By 1886, they were lynching more black people than they was white people. So this isn't an American tradition that became racialized later for a number of reasons. Okay. They didn't just suddenly turn it on us. I told you when we started to rise, they had to take us down. So for y'all to believe that we run around, we don't lynch people. That ain't our style. That ain't even the indigenous people style. They would scalp your ass. So every group had their own method of killing. So just for sake of argument, I did not want anybody to think that what I'm about to talk about, I'm going to talk about in a very callous fashion. I'm not going to do that. Before I dig into this, I let anybody know that if you are in fact contemplating thoughts of suicide, it is not worth it. You need to reach out and talk to somebody. Somebody wants to hear what it is that's on your mind. It's never that bad when you have to take your life. Please reach the suicide hotline, but don't sit here and think for 2 seconds that killing yourself is the solution to your problems. Trust and believe. Many a night I have seen things be so horrible, and then the next day y'all just flip that whole thing, and I'm like, whoo, I almost killed myself. Woo! Plus, it is written, you cannot destroy that which you did not create. You did not create your soul. You did not create your body. You don't really have the right. It's on loan to you for you to do. Just listen. It's a class. We all going to take the class again. It's up to you how many times you want to take this class over and over again. Remember, the earth is nothing but a classroom for the development of your soul. So if you keep quitting the class, you're going to take the class over and over again until you get it right. I ain't starting this class over. I intend to slide right out with my diploma. And I'm trying to take a lot of y'all with me. So if you think for 2 seconds that we're condoning suicide or we're making light of it, we are not. Because in this particular case, I don't believe the shoe fits. Now that I have everybody seated in the jury box and I've given you all the origins of lynching because I am about to indict some people, I now must say that, okay, there's going to be some folks that's going to say, well, you really don't know, no, if that's what something you want to really get into because people commit suicide all the time. Pardon my language, but I said, you know what, you got a valid point, but I have a question. I needed to understand. And if that's the case, let's be fair and go look at some of the statistics of who commits suicide. Now, you know what was strange to me was when I went and did that, I found out that it was very interesting that 50% of the people who commit suicide by hanging themselves are white, middle-aged men. Yeah. You know how most men commit suicide, ladies? With a gun. Yeah. Matter of fact, if you go and look at the statistics for suicides, you'll find out that black males are in the lowest column. Especially when it comes to those types of deaths. So now I'm thinking like, well, okay, we don't kill ourselves that way and it's not part of our culture and it is part of somebody else's culture. Well, I thought this was a crime. I thought that, well, okay, well, hold on a second. Let me unpack something else for you. So I have to look at a few other things that are going on because if the lynching part is going on and that's a violation of some law, aren't there some other things going on that are violations of the law? Okay, let me help y'all out. How many of y'all know that under the Constitution of the United States, that the right of the people to secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable search and seizure shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue upon probable cause supported by oath of affirmation and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons of things to be seized? That is the Fourth Amendment to the Constitution. Can't nobody supposed to be able to come in your house without knocking? But they came in Breonna Taylor's house without knocking. And then they killed her. They violated her fourth constitutional right from the gate. And now all of a sudden, I told y'all, unless a law gets changed, your protesting is for nothing. But what did they do today? There's a new Breonna Taylor law which will ban no-knock warrants in Louisville. Here's the problem with that. We're glad y'all gave us some going shit forward. We don't want to go forward. We want you to deal with what's happening right here on the ground, Louisville. What about the officers? The ones that's sitting at home with a paycheck, chilling, hoping that don't nobody come knocking at their door. Okay, I'm glad y'all put a law that they can't do it no more, but we want y'all to do something about what they done did right now. But they violated the Constitution. So if they'll violate the Constitution for that, I'm pretty sure that they violated a few other constitutional, well, not constitution, but a few more laws, I should say. And one of those that came to my mind was, I can remember that, didn't they just pass a law making lynching a federal hate crime? Somewhere back around February this year, they passed a law, the Emmett Till Anti-Lynching Act, which passed on a 410-4 vote, was introduced by Representative Bobby Hush of Democrat from Illinois. And it was named after Emmett Till. Y'all remember Emmett Till. Big shout out to the Till family. He got lynched in 1955 in Mississippi. They just passed the bill for him. So if this is a lynching and we gonna get there, they already know they in hot fucking water. It's a federal crime. You understand what I'm saying to you? Now we got the Breonna Taylor, a law that said they can't knock on your door no damn more unless they got a warrant. And then we got this law over here that say you can't lynch. Yet I got people that's killed from doors getting kicked in. And now it looks like we got a boy hung. I'm going to tell you why I say it was hung. And I'm going to tell you why I don't say it was suicide. I want y'all to stay with me. Here we go. You know, immediately once I became aware of the whole case, the first thing I did was I wanted to see where he died at. So of course, through the magic of satellites and all the other three-dimensional software we use, I visited the site virtually. I was shocked to find out it's on a very beautiful street. And there's a whole bunch of apartments on this side of the street with a long gate. Nothing but apartments. You mean somebody didn't see nothing? There was no real trees. There was these cute little trees that they plant every so often on the street. That's what's on this side of the street. So you got an apartment complex. I'm like, okay, so there's a T-bone. So when you look down the T-bone, that's the street you're looking down. There's a park. And on the other side of the park is City Hall. Oh, a park. Well, let's go look in the park. So I go in the park and I look around and yes, there are trees in the park. There's a little gazebo in the park. There's some benches in the park. The park is just big enough that if some people was in there hanging a motherfucker and he had his mouth gagged, you wouldn't hear or see shit. They say they found this boy at 3:30 in the morning. Okay. And now all of a sudden y'all want me to believe with all them damn apartments out there and the City Hall on the other side of the park that no cameras caught nothing. Y'all got me fucked up. We're not going to start that game. So we want the tapes from every camera on that street. We want the tapes from the security cameras in the front of City Hall that face the park. And you want me to believe in Palmdale? Y'all don't know California. They got cameras every fucking where. I want the tapes from the park. Bottom fucking line. I want to see what happened in that park. And there's no way that nobody saw anything with all them damn houses facing this place. 2:30 in the morning. We don't we don't hang ourselves. That's not our character. The same shit I said about Tamon Blair. White people hang you. Pardon my language, who the fuck goes to the park in front of City Hall to hang themselves? Now, here's where I want to lead this to, and I need y'all to listen very carefully. Because now, what they thought they had gotten rid of has come back. You see, when the situation happened down in Brunswick, the reason that we got angry and decided to go down there was because we saw the resurgence of a very, very ugly part of Jim Crow. And that was public violence against black people when nobody called the police or it just got ignored. That's part of the early 60s, okay? The late 50s. You cannot have that come back. We will not allow it to come back. For that, we will kill you. I'd rather die over that than to stand back and try to give y'all a chance to fix some shit that's been around for over 60 years that we know of. No, you ain't got to fix nothing. Go ask your mama and your daddy. They fixed it the first time. We're not having that. Here's why. Because for us to go down to Brunswick and uncover all the shit that we did, it wasn't the police that killed Ahmaud Arbery. It was white people that killed him, and white people that tried to cover it up, and white people that lied about it, and white people that went on nationwide TV talking about they scared, and white people that are turning on each other. And when we went down there, it was black people who came down to get some justice. It was black people that come to bust a cap in somebody's ass. It was black people that came to your neighborhood and to your door. It was black people who was pissed off. And y'all saw that All of America saw that, and they had a thought, oh, we've been fucking with these brothers and sisters real tough. We've been doing this while you can't drink and you can't be in the restaurant. You can't do shit while you black. But they don't went too goddamn far. You damn right we went too goddamn far, because y'all went too goddamn far. But y'all wasn't ready for that, because y'all saw where that was going. That didn't just resound with the people across America. That shit resounded with people around the world. Oh, black folks finally gonna pick up guns and fight back? Hell motherfucking yeah. That's all we was waiting on. And white America saw that. Now, I don't know whether it was through the grace of Yah or whether they set it up. I really don't care. But the next thing I know, y'all forgot about Ahmaud Arbery and the black on white war that was coming, because all of a sudden George Floyd was all they heard about. And that was against the police, not against the white folks, against the police. They shifted the narrative and everybody jumped on that. George Soros fired up the BLM, so they came out like they had something to do with it. Al Sharpton got all his little cronies to come out giving bullshit ass speeches and shit. And everybody got fired up. Antifa came out, started breaking up shit, trying to make it worse than it was. Shit, even the cops got in on it. They spray painting shit, and you had motherfuckers leaving bricks and shit. Everybody trying to divert the attention away from what the fuck happened in Georgia. Meanwhile, y'all started to fall for it. Y'all kneeling with these motherfuckers, patting them on the back, singing songs and shit. All on TV trying to explain away, but nobody wanted to address the original issue. So guess what? The original issue came back. It's not about the police, y'all. We live in a racist ass country, and there's a whole group of racist ass people that want to do something to you. They're having a hard time holding it back because they want to get things back to when America was great again. I've been black all my life. I can't remember a time when America was great for black folks. Shit, I can't remember a time when America was great for Mexicans. I can't remember a time when America was great for motherfucking Chinese or any goddamn body else. The only people I can think of that America was great for was white people, when we was treated as less than human beings, or we was treated as property, and they was making fun of the rest of y'all in movies. You know how many Chinese movies you seen from back in the day where they got some white dude trying to look like he Chinese? Or you seen some kung fu movie where they trying to fix up some white guy that look like he Chinese? Shit, they did the 10 Commandments and made it look like all these motherfucking black people was white people in the desert hauling bricks and shit. If y'all don't give me a fucking break with this lying and shit, make America great again. We'll make America great again. We'll make America a great disaster, because this shit is out of order. So, lynching, y'all bringing that back? Okay. Black folks, y'all don't want to wake up? You see, here's the problem. You're going to end up in a war, whether you want one or not. And it's best to go to war because you want to. Because if not, you're going to be ducking bullets and shit burning up and people kicking your fucking door down and knocking you upside your head because of the color of your fucking skin. And you're going to sit there and say that pussy shit ain't got nothing to do with this. You got everything to do with this. Because they can grab any one of you motherfuckers and ain't nobody looking and hang you from a fucking tree, and they probably filmed this shit somewhere, getting high, drinking a beer, laughing at that shit. The same way they was doing with the Ahmaud Arbery tape. They was sitting around laughing at that shit. While y'all out here singing songs and waving signs and shit. And then I'm the only one that's upset. I'm the only one. Jay, you got these people amped the fuck up. No, you should already be amped up. The last piece of evidence that I want to present to the jury, and then I'll leave y'all to some deliberation. I'm going to come back, is that there's a Lieutenant Kelly Yageliner of the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner Coroner's Office. He said that the death was initially reported as an apparent suicide, but now the cause of death is deferred pending an investigation. They say that somebody just happened to be passing by at 3:30 in the morning, Wednesday, at the 38300 block of 9th Street. According to authorities, that's the story they telling. I want to see the videotapes. I want to see the autopsy. I want somebody. Okay, why y'all always sending these, what you call it, nano vision? They look like bugs, but they really robots and shit with cameras. And they fly by your ear and you hear the, and it ain't even fucking, it's mechanical. Y'all stop with that shit. Y'all think I'm tripping. If you haven't read a copy of the whole of pale horse. There's a section in here where they talk about surveillance in the police state and so forth. I'm sorry I had to take y'all there, but that's what that was. So in the meantime, I would just want to close by saying that the origins of lynching, the practice of lynching in the United States, the fact that it had to be, that it just was declared a hate crime, and the fact that we just had a young man out in California that to all intents and purposes looked like he's a victim of a lynching that was meant to send a message. And I'm just putting that out there. That's what I'm charging, and I'm charging the white man with doing it. I am. I'm charging the white man with doing it because it fits your MO. If the brother had been shot and robbed, you'd have blamed the black person. If the person had been shot and his pockets turned out and he'd been stabbed, you'd have blamed the Mexican person. If the person had been set on fire, you'd have blamed an African. If the person had been cut from his bowels opening, you would have blamed the Chinese man. But when you hang somebody from a rope, that is some white people shit that y'all started in the Revolutionary War. Also on top of that, 24-year-old black man minding his own business suddenly turns up for no apparent reason, didn't have nobody say he was depressed or anything, just turns up hanging from a fucking tree in a park where there's no way for him to even get up on the tree. He ain't even by a bench. Somebody had to put his ass up there. Come on, y'all give me a fucking break. I submit the case to the jury. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a break and I'm going to come back for the second hour. When I come back, I am going to poll the room for the verdict. You have two choices. You can either find them guilty of violating the federal statute on hate crimes for lynching, which will then talk about the penalty and what we need to do, or y'all can say, maybe I'm just making it all up. The man was suicidal and that's what happened. I rest my case. I leave that with the jury. This is the end of part one. Facts over feelings. We still got strange fruit. I'll see y'all when I get back. Join me right back here.